Well, most people cringe at the thought of using wallpaper in their homes, but today we aren't talking about your mother's wallpaper, you know, the one with the fruit and the dated florals on them. We're talking about really cool prints and some unique textures. Wallpaper has taken on a whole new life, and decorators are using it everywhere. Well, Denise Willard of Decor by Denise is here today. She's got some examples to show us. And when we started talking about wallpaper again, I was like, oh no, no way, no. Because I think people have this horror about trying to get it off once it's on. You know, it's kind of difficult.
Yeah, and we actually have a couple of clients we're working with right now who actually hired us to get rid of the wallpaper. And when we went back in and presented, we presented wallpaper to them in actually 2 different rooms, and they were like, really? Do we really want to do that? I'm like, yes, trust me. And now that I've shown them some of the pictures and some creative things that you can do with wallpaper, and also all the new patterns and textures and materials that are out, they're really excited about it. So we're actually using it. Yeah, we're using it a lot.
Is it any easier to get off the newer stuff?
Some of it is. It just depends. But now that they're getting more creative with materials, that poses some other issues. But you just have to figure out where to use it and how to be, you know, smart about how you do it.
All right. Well, you brought some things to show us.
I did.
What is new in wallpaper?
There's a lot that's new. Lots of textures. This is actually a really phenomenal beaded wallpaper from Maya Romanoff. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to have some pictures a little bit later.
That is stunning. I mean, it's like bedazzling my bathroom.
And it's actually called Bedazzled. That is actually the name of it. We didn't plan that, I promise.
How about that?
It comes in lots of different colors, etc., but it's just really amazing. There's also all kinds of metallics.
I love those.
Mother of pearl.
Now, this is not a tile. This is
That is a wallpaper. Yep.
Because I've seen these like for the kitchen backsplashes.
Yeah, and they do have tile that comes and looks very similar, but this is actually wallpaper because it's thinner and it can be applied in different areas where you wouldn't necessarily put a tile.
So but it stays firm like that?
It does. It does.
That is amazing.
This is one that I absolutely love that comes in a really beautiful green. It has a sand effect to it, and it's of texture. Oh, so if you touch it, you can feel it's got a sand look and feel to it.
Yeah.
So there's just all kinds of stuff out there that's different. There's paintable wallpapers now. This is actually what it comes in, what it looks like. But after you paint it with
Wait a minute, I don't think the camera can even pick that up because it's white on white. But I mean, we've got like little bars on here, but it's 3D.
Texture. Yeah. And then when you actually paint it, you can see that the variation, and you can do all kinds of stuff with this. It's almost like your faux finish, but doing it with a wallpaper that's easily removed. So those are just some of the things. There's some other ones I have some pictures of, one of which is a cork. They've actually used cork as the backdrop for the material, and then they've actually printed on top of it. I don't know if we have it or not, but that's fine. That's it, actually. That's by Carl Robinson.
Beautiful.
And when you actually get up close, it's actually cork that's very, very fine.
So they use the cork and then they print on top of it?
They print on top of it, and they've actually applied a metallic finish as well. Isn't that stunning?
Wow. Where would you see that? Well, I guess this is a restaurant, right?
That looks like it's been used here in a dining room. That would be a great paper in a dining room or some place where you have a large expanse where the repeat would actually make sense. There's also even wallpapers now that have Swarovski crystal, shockingly enough. This is another one from Maya Romanoff that it's hard to tell, but it looks like leather when it's applied to the walls. It's actually a paper that's been dyed, and then it looks like they've applied a hand stitching, and it has a very rustic feel, and that actually looks like leather when it's on the walls. And then the last one I have is an example of where they've actually used the Swarovski crystals. And it's hard to tell here, but inside that black diamond is all Swarovski crystal, and it's highly embellished, and it's very expensive.
All right, how much would something like that go for?
That's probably, well, some of the papers I'm showing you here today are in the $300 to $500 range per roll. That's, you know, Swarovski crystal is probably in the $800 range, or depending on how many crystals, maybe even more per roll.
Wow.
And typically, like a wall, like an accent wall, would need 8 to 10 rolls, depending on the size, maybe a little more. So you can sort of get an idea of what you're talking about.
Could you get something that looks like that, but is maybe not Swarovski crystals?
You could, and there are some that are embellished that aren't Swarovski that have that sort of effect without going so crazy on the cost.
Awesome, awesome. So now we're not just putting them on the walls either. I understand you're talking about putting them in different places.
And
how are they used?
Yeah, this is really what we're doing these days. The biggest way we're using wallpaper is on ceilings. The hottest trend a few years ago was to paint ceilings. Now look at this. This is a house we just completed in DC in the Palisades. And it looks like a faux finish. It looks like something that you used to have to hire a professional painter to do, a muralist or someone, but actually that is wallpaper. It was done in one day, and it's absolutely stunning, and our client loves it.
It's gorgeous. It looks like it has a little bit of a sheen to it.
It
does. Is that just the light reflecting?
It does. That one actually has a little bit of a metallic sheen to it, and when it's actually put up and the light shines on it, you can really see it.
So the faux finish in that, was there a certain pattern to that, or was it just sort of splotchy looking?
It's just, it's basically looks like a faux finish. You know how faux finishes aren't 100% perfect? It looks looks very similar to that.
Very nice.
You couldn't even tell it's wallpaper unless you get up and because you can barely see the seams. So.
All right, what about you know, using it in a bookcase setting? You could do that, right?
Absolutely. We have a picture, and I love this. You can use wallpaper to wallpaper the back wall, and if you had like floating shelves or a bookcase, or you had cabinetry where you had the doors removed, you could use that wallpaper there, and it would make that cabinetry stand out. And here's an example where the bold geometric is making everything really just pop. I absolutely love that.
You really have to stay neutral with the exterior. I mean, it has to be solid white like this, or solid black, or I guess a wood without a large grain.
Yeah, I think it depends on the paper that you use. Certainly in this instance, the white really stands out because you've got the bold geometric black and white in the back. So.
You know, so many people do use paint to kind of define the back of a bookcase, but here's another idea for that.
They do, and paint was, like I said, that was sort of something cool to do a couple years ago. Now we're trying to do it now with wallpaper and jazz it up. So.
All right, and then wallpaper can be made to suit your tastes too? You could like customize it?
Yes, there's this new manufacturer who is actually, you can send in a photograph of like your favorite animal or a favorite flower or something like that, and she will create that same, recreate that actually in a fabric or wallpaper. And we have an example of this homeowner loved their little dog, and I love my little dogs myself, and look at this little guy. How cute is he? So if you look at the wallpaper in the background, it's an exact replica of the little guy in the foreground.
He's got his own wallpaper.
And she can also do this with on fabric as well. So it's really a cute idea, and it's something that really personalizes the space and just makes it fun and different.
And if that dog were not on that pink chair, he would blend right into the wall.
He would. You wouldn't even know the difference, but he's so cute.
Adorable. Now, what about making a statement with a strong, you know, a strong focal point, a strong wall, that kind of thing? You could do that too, right?
Yes. What we've done in the past is use paint, or we've done like large, you know, oversized artwork and stuff. But now we're starting to do the same, create the same effect with wallpaper. And we have an example of a nursery that was completed actually by someone on my staff. It's a little hard to tell, but on the left-hand side, you see that there's this really fun, vibrant wallpaper that sort of pulls that space together and balances it out and gives it a little bit of oomph. It makes that whole wall basically the focal point when you walk in. And I just love it. It's a great way to use wallpaper, and also to do it inexpensively where you don't want to commit to a whole room, especially if you've had the bad experience of paying to get rid of it all. So it's a great way to sort of ease your way back into it.
So the other walls in that picture were just the solid paint, and then the one wall in the corner was the one with the splash of print on it.
Exactly.
Very cool. It kind of draws your eye into the room.
It does. You can also even do wallpaper in stripes, and you don't have to always do a whole wall. So we've also done things where we've actually split it up and done stripes and all kinds of stuff to make it interesting and different. So there's all kinds of things you can do and get creative. And you know, wallpaper's definitely back, so we're excited.
Embrace it.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though you may have hated it before, right?
Yeah, it's totally different now. So.
Well, thanks for showing us some new ideas for the new year.
Thank you.
Decor by Denise. Check it out. Thank you so much, Denise.
Thanks for having me.
You always have great ideas.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we're going to step away for a short break. When we come back, well, Kirstie Alley made an unusual New Year's resolution, and here's a clue. It has to do with men and who she is now choosing to date. And then Natasha is going to be learning all about the Three Kings cake, and it has some special meaning today, January the 6th. So check out our blog anytime. Go to tbd.com, enter in the keywords Let's Talk Live. Back in a minute.